Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Manhattan Bridge, everyone was running, like stampeding across the bridge, and we got pulled out of school. So she had just missed the first plane hitting, and then we get pulled out of school, and all the parents are trying to pick up their kids, the ones that can. A lot of them are in the city, so you sort of got jammed up there. My babysitter came pick us up, and while I'm walking back home, I see my mom come up, like, off of the Brooklyn Bridge, and she's just covered head to toe in ash, just like white ash completely. And I mean, like the next days, well, the remainder of that day, we're sort of just in our basement because we had no idea if it was like an ongoing thing, because we heard about what happened outside of DC. And like the series, we didn't know if it was like the first in a salvo of like series attacks that were gonna happen in New York, or if it was just a one-time deal. But I remember just being like sitting in the basement, like not knowing what was going on, and pretty much just waiting there. I wasn't really scared, but you could tell that all the adults. And the thing was, like, being a kid, you don't really get a good read on that stuff. But there's a prevailing sense that even as a kid, you were able to tell, like, there was something very untouchable about New York in the way that people felt about the city. Like, we wouldn't be touched or hurt or anything like that.
That's why all that weird pop culture stuff that came out of it came out of New York in the few years after. Yeah. It kept trying to chase back that idea, but it was gone.
Yeah. I mean, I remember probably the most surreal thing is just months and months after 9/11, everyone that lost someone in the towers posted missing posters all around Manhattan and Brooklyn and the Bronx and the five boroughs. And obviously it's because they couldn't recover the bodies, so they didn't know for sure who was missing and who wasn't. But there were just hundreds and hundreds of posters of people's faces saying, like, missing, if found, if you know anything about this person, please contact. So it's sort of just like half like a memorial, but more sort of like I don't want to say like an open graveyard, but it's really just like faces of people who died all over the place. And then, I mean, I guess like getting back to everything into trying to figure out like what was normal again is not a very like. So there's no blueprint for like how to recover from an attack like that. So it's just people clinging onto the hope that, I mean, even months after, like, that they were still missing, that they hadn't actually died. So I was in the first grade, and we were at recess, and we were just playing around, playing tag, and all of a sudden you could see coming from lower Manhattan a big swirling cloud of what looked like dust, but there were like definite particles in the dust and like little pieces. And as it came close to us, at first we thought it was snow, and as it started coming close to us and fluttering down, what it was charred banknotes and just files from the World Trade Center. And some of them were still like yellow and orange around the edges because they were still charred and burning a little bit. And we had no idea what it was, but we were laughing and throwing them around and playing in them because we just thought that it was some sort of a game and nothing really serious. You had people playing detective with other people, trying to match piece and piece together like puzzles. We had no idea. People collecting them, people rolling around in them. And then when the teachers realized what was going on, they brought us all back inside. And that's when, out of the third grade window, this is 2 years older than us, the third grade class watched the tower go down out of their window because you could see everything from outside of the building. I remember like rewatching the broadcast. They're like talking about all the possibilities of like how it was an accident, and then literally it's a live feed. You see the second plane flying in from behind, and the anchors sort of freak out. They're like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And then that's when the second plane hits. And I think there was one channel that had a reporter on the scene, and she was watching it happen, and she sort of freaked out too. brought back the first Mets game after 9/11. I think it was September 21st, and they were like in the wild card hunt, and they were playing the Braves, which was their biggest rival. They won the division for 14 straight years, and like, the stadium was just literally shaking up and down. American flags everywhere, and Mike Johnson hit a go-ahead home run to dead center field in the 8th inning when the Mets were losing by 1 run, and the place almost collapsed. Like there's dust coming from the ceiling. Like it was just like I still tear up when I see that video because it's just absolutely. I mean, there's really like no other way it could have happened. Really. The Yankees ended up going to the World Series that year. They ended up losing the World Series to the Diamondbacks, which I was happy about because I hate the Yankees.
Yeah.
Which is that?
They did it. It was just like it was a definitely return to normalcy, even if it was only for one game. Because that's like what people could relate to. It's like we've never been in a situation like this before, but we know what it's like to watch a baseball game. Like we can do that.